Okay, I've took a couple of washers and I cobbed them on the inside of this rail for the seat pan. As you can see, it was smooth wore through on the other side, and this ought to work. And you won't see it very much on the other side. I've kind of ground all the rust off of that, and it still has a little patina on it. Shot it with some matte clear as well as the base. Did the same thing. I have the spring down there and the bolt. Kind of did the same with those. I got me some gasket material from Tractor Supply. This was $8, and made myself a gasket for the engine cover, which is right there, crankcase cover. And so I have a crankcase cover gasket that fits. That's the whole secret. That fits. I've ordered gaskets for this before, and I don't know what they're for, but they're not for this. It's strange. They must be for a 60 tractor. Must be slightly changed. I also I kind of ground this also and cleaned out that. I cleaned the mud daubers out of the top of that and shot all these with a little clear. The tractor seat, I did actually paint it green. So after I patched that up, our quadrant here, I've got enough gasket material for the quadrant also. Quadrant. I keep calling that the quadrant. The quadrant is actually the shifter. This is the pedestal. The quadrant is attached to it. So I'm going to make a gasket for that. Probably next time you see this, I'll have the pan, the seat pan. That's the upside down. Oh, I did paint the back side of that seat pan, since you're not going to see it. And I painted the top of the transmission, so you're not going to see it as well. And so next time you should see this, I should have the seat on it. I should have the pedestal on it. And we should be ready to start doing some engine operations. My next deal I'm going to do probably is get an oil filter and put oil in this and see that oil's coming out of this line right here, which is my oil pressure line. I want to make sure there's oil coming out of that when I'm cranking it over. And that I need to look at that rod in there too and see that the oil pump shaft is actually spinning. I believe it is. Yeah, it's spinning. So it should supply oil pressure as long as I've got oil in it. Going to put the seat back together. And that's about it for right now. I'm really digging my little table here. It pulls out. It's pretty handy, albeit it does need a twin outlet. I need to get rid of the extension cords. The whole idea is to get rid of these extension cords and hoses, because they just, if you're working, they just tangle all up, so it's really difficult. The other thing I want to talk to you about is this head. Realistically, this is probably a $400 project. And it's got this big hogged up nasty. It had been broken, and somebody welded it or brazed it back together. And I don't know too much about the seats. If you can, or you have to put new seats in it, because the seats are really bad. We'll save it. I don't think it's cracked. I just think it's going to cost a lot to fix. So the guy I'm going to get the cylinder from says he has another head. And very possible I can, if he looks at that, come off a running engine, so it should be okay. Maybe I can just lap the valves myself and get away with that. Well, that's where I am right now. I'm going to pull this quadrant up here and cut a gasket for it, and we'll be ready to go there. Okay, folks.